Now, here again is Wesley Avram. Breath. Enjoyed your talk, Wes. You also talked about a gentleman who had a sign on his mirror, or we should have it up there, forgive, forgive, forgive. Is there any kind of sign we could put at the top of our mirror in the bathroom that would start us off the day that would tell us ultimately to seek peace, and how would we go about it?
It's a good question, Floyd. I wish I knew who actually recommended that, but it has stuck with me since I heard it. I think that part of what the New Testament does is bring forgiveness and peace together. We like to think that peace begins with calm, or is a kind of calm. But I think that peace comes as a product, or calm comes as a product of peace, and that peace begins in the ability to learn how to forgive.
Peace and calm almost synonymous in what you say. Huh? What is the ultimate incident of peace that you can think of that happened to you? And when did it happen?
I have memories of, I must have been about 10, I think, when I cut with scissors an article out of the newspaper. I think it was the Daily Tribune in Royal Oak, Michigan. For whatever reason, this article stood with me and stayed for years in my top drawer. And I went back and found it years later and read about it again and remembered a story about a young girl who was brutally murdered in a woods near my home in Royal Oak. And this article was about the parents of this young girl who, when the young man who had committed this crime was caught, they were interviewed and they said, you know, we're Christian people and we seek justice to be done, but also know that Christ calls us to forgive and to there find our peace. And we hope one day that this young man would know the same peace that we know, and that one day we might even sit at table in the beyond with our daughter and with him, knowing that it is Christ who is our peace, and that justice leads to mercy. And in reading that article at 10 years old, I realized there was something about faith that's different than what the world would teach me. And I had to figure out what that was.
Wow. At 10 years old, you were asking the question. What about your adult life? What has happened in your adult life that has given you peace or helped you find more?
Well, help me find more would be a better way to put it. I don't know if I have it yet. But I remember living for a period of time, now almost 20 years ago, in the Middle East, on the West Bank, and coming to know during those years Israelis who were very active in the peace movement and Palestinians who were involved in the midst of a decades-long terrible conflict of bitterness and recrimination and anger and revenge back and forth. And to watch these people who were committed to peace, a peace that was born in the midst of conflict, come together and find ways of remaining calm and finding nonviolence in the midst of that. I think I saw a glimpse of peace there as a kind of work, which is a work that's a kind of giving over to other people. It was a remarkable experience, and I think from those people we learn, you know.
We certainly do. Can you imagine living a life where you're seeking peace, but ultimately you wonder if you'll ever have it until the kingdom of God? Thank you so much for your talk.